morning. My name's Catherine. I'm with ING. How many of you have the deferred compensation plan? How many of you don't know what the deferred compensation plan is? Oh, good. That makes my job so much easier. I'm going to give you just some basic information about how deferred comp can help you on your last check. Okay? So if you are going to either take that, is it $6,500 incentive, Eileen? 65? Okay. If you're eligible for that, or if you have accrued sick and vacation time that you are going to get paid to you on your last check, there's this really awesome sheet that I think you all have. And it shows what your tax liability is going to look like if you choose to get that paid to you in your paycheck. Now, I'm not a tax advisor. That's why this is printed out. But I know that the tax implications are going to be very great. So it can benefit you immensely. Remember, the deferred part of deferred comp is tax deferred. So if you put the money over into deferred compensation, then you are not responsible to pay taxes on that money until you withdraw that out of deferred comp at some point in the future. Okay? And you are not required to start taking payments out of deferred compensation until you are 70 1/2. And I know that's a long, long time a coming for everybody in this room except Mel. So, let me just give you the breakdown of some options that you have with deferred compensation, and then if you are seriously considering retiring at this time and want to defer that money, I'll tell you exactly what you need to do it, okay? When you retire, again, you're not required to take money out, but you can take a systematic payment monthly, annually, quarterly, or semi-annually. You're not required to, but you can start doing that. Let's say you need a little bit of income, a little bit of a shortfall between capers and what your normal income was going to be. If you need $500, you can get a $500 a month payment. Let's say sometime in the future, we'll say 65, Medicare kicks in, right? And you don't need that money. You can stop it because you're not required by the government to start taking payments until you're 70 1/2. Let's say sometime before 65, you had some medical expenses, and even though you're getting that $500 a month, you need about $1,200 to cover something that happened. We can do that. It's your money. You call us, and we will make sure you get an additional $1,200 without missing your monthly payment in addition to that, okay? So it works for you. Just because you retired doesn't mean you don't have any choices with deferred comp. You are still allowed to move your money around in the various funds that are available. The same restrictions apply as they do now. You can't go in and out of the same two funds more than twice in a 60-day time period. That's it. It's the only restriction. There's not a restriction on the stable value account. Remember back in the day, I do, when the fixed account you could only move a certain amount in or out of it. That doesn't apply to the stable value option. Was anybody else nervous before, the whole debt ceiling issue was going on and you wanted to jump out of the market and jump into stable value, but you weren't sure you should do that because you didn't know how long you'd have to wait before you could pull it out? There are no requirements on that. You can move your money in and out of that as long as you're not going in and out more than twice in the 60-day time period, okay? Any questions about that? I know that was a bit scary for people. No? Okay. Let me tell you what you need to do if you want to defer either your accrued time or that special incentive. This is a deferred compensation form. There's some back on the back table. There's a place in here specifically for your final salary reduction amount. That means your last check, but we have to call it your final salary reduction amount. Hi. What you need to remember is that out of that amount, they're still going to withhold capers and OASDI. So let's say you're going to get a last check that's $12,000. Please only put 90% of that amount into deferred comp, or it's going to lower your last check. Okay? So they're still going to withhold capers and Social Security out of that amount, So only put 90% in or subtract 10% from it, however you do math, okay? Make sure you're not putting 100% of that amount in there. And then you have a couple of different options on the date that you retire, September 16th or September 19th, is that true? Okay, those are different pay periods. Make sure you know which pay period you're going to retire in so we don't try to do it on the wrong check. And that, the effective date goes right there. But what we need is the beginning pay period date, not the date of your paycheck. So either 9/4 or what's the other one, Eileen, do you know? Okay, I do, hold on. I'm old, sorry. 9/4 or... No, the effective date. 9/18 would be the next one, right? Because that's the day before the 19th. Okay, so either 9/4 or 9/18 goes on that blank. All right? Any questions about deferring your last check? No? All right. These forms must be back to us by August 31st. The IRS requires that you have to sign this in the month prior to your paycheck. So this must be back to us in August. Please make sure if you have questions that you contact us. Our contact information is on this blue form. I also have a sheet here. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, please sign this form, put your email, put your phone number so that we can get together one-on-one and I can answer any questions that you might have. I understand this is, short notice. It's not a cookie cutter. It's not one size fits all. So you probably do have some questions. We don't all wear the same shoes either, okay? So make sure to let us know. Also, I'm going to be here. We're looking for a room for me, but I'm going to be here on Monday, specifically to talk to you, revenue people, between 7:30 and like 4:30. I'm going to be available. So again, make sure you contact me and let me know if you have any questions so we can sit down. I can help you fill that out and maybe answer some other questions about your retirement. Thank you guys and have an awesome day.